Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be going over two GPS trackers that I purchased. One of them is the Tracki Pro and also the LandAirSea 54. And the reason why I bought these two was because I got a lot of trailers, a lot of equipment, and I don't want to wait until one of them is stolen or something like that to decide that I need a GPS tracking system. So I was kind of interested in seeing what was on the market. And these two devices here are the ones that I saw on Amazon. I didn't really look at anything that didn't really show pricing on the website. So that's why I kind of went with these two. I figure it'll be good if, I have to leave my trailer somewhere overnight, or let's say if I'm staying at a hotel or something, I want to be able to not worry about if somebody just take the trailer, in the parking lot or something like that. It's also good, if I'm gonna leave it on, parking at a job site or something like that. It's easier for the police to help you if you have something on a map showing where something's at. So, unlike an AirTag system from like Apple, these don't depend on a nearby phone in order to report their position. These actually have cellular connections built into them. So the downside is they do require a cellular connection, which costs money every month. That's a subscription fee. I'll get further into that. With the AirTags, you don't have to have a subscription because you're basically borrowing off of anybody else who has a connection, whether it's Wi-Fi or cellular. But these right here, you don't have to depend on a phone to be in the area. They have their own phone built in. I think these are 4G. These are 4G devices. So yeah. So let's get started, and I'll go through there and kind of get an idea of what everything looks like. So, first thing I'll say about these is that the reason why I chose these was because the initial price on Amazon was pretty good. This one here, the Tracki, was only $18.88 plus tax, and it was next day shipping. So I was like, well, 18 bucks, I'll try it. LandAirSea has their 54 model. It was also available on Amazon for $19.95. So, I figure I'm not out of a lot of money if I don't like them. But, so yeah, that's why I went on ahead and started with these. So I'm going to go over the initial impressions I get from these. The first initial impression I get is that the charging ports. So on the Tracki, the charging port is a USB-C, which is really nice. I can use it with my charger. Now, what I did realize was that apparently there's different types of cords for USB-C, so I had to use the cord that they included with this in order for it to work. But other than that, that's basically it. LandAirSea, on the other hand, is still using the old, I think that's micro USB, and it's, these sometimes, I've had issues with these getting damaged, not on this, but on other devices like that. And it came with this little plug here. Supposedly these are all waterproof. I don't know to what level they are, but water resistant or waterproof as long as you put that there and put this cover back on. I don't know, if you lose the cover or the cover breaks off, it may not do that. It may not work very well. So the next thing I will say is that the battery sizes. So this here is a pretty hefty unit. This is 10,000 milliamps, according to the website. Tracki, 10,000 milliamps. LandAirSea, this is 1,500. So this is almost 7 or 8 times more battery power than this, but the weight there's a difference in weight. So I will say that this one here is lighter. They both have magnets on them. This Tracki device came with a plate that you can use to mount with screws. This just comes with a magnet. And also it looks like it has like a belt clip hole here, so you could put it on a belt. Like I said, this is just a magnet. This one here came with a little device to put in the hole to turn it on and off. You have to use this to turn it on and off. Tracki, there's a button here. You can push it and it lights up and tells you the status, GPS, and looks like the cellular connection there. What else can I say about them? The lights on the LandAirSea, as you can see, they're always on. I think that's just the status lights. You can turn them off in the app, but currently I don't have them turned off. Tracki, they come automatically turned off. You can't turn them on and off in the software, from what I can see. So yeah, the LandAirSea one, it doesn't feel as robust as Tracki. I've already dropped this one. You can see there's like some scratches and some nicks. I wouldn't want to drop that. That just kind of doesn't feel as strong or as robust. But I could be wrong. But I don't want to drop it and find out. Tracki has two-way communication. So for example, you can press this button and it will actually show up on the phone as a SOS, like a push notification in the app. Also, I can go into the app and press a button and it'll beep to get this to beep. So like if you lose this or it's somewhere in a drawer or something, you can use your phone and use the app on the phone and make this beep to find it. LandAirSea, I don't think they have anything like that. So this is kind of like two-way. This is only one way. So other than that, they, like I say, the magnet strength is pretty good. I mean, this one here, I literally have to really get a lot of strength and just really pull it off. So it's very good. I don't have any problems with that. This one here is not as strong, but they do have a bigger model available. It's called the Overdrive. I think it has 4,000 milliamps according to their website, but it was like $149. So I kind of wanted to stay with around $20. And then both of these two you can get power supplies for. I think that's shown right here. Here's a hardwire kit you can buy for this. And I believe they also, Tracki comes, you can get a hardwired kit as well. I don't need that. I would prefer to use just the internal batteries because in my opinion, with the internal batteries, it's easy for me to move this to and from different things that I want to track, such as a trailer or machinery. So batteries are all I would use. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I say, you can use zip ties or whatever you need to really put them where you want to put them. So my initial company impressions, I saw a lot of good reviews on Amazon about Tracki. I don't know, Amazon, they say they're doing, they're trying to stop people from leaving fake reviews. I don't know if all that stuff is either real reviews or fake. I don't know. So like I said, I just tried both of them. But I noticed on Tracki's website, they show a phone number, but they don't show a mailing address. And so that's kind of suspicious to me. I don't know why they would do that. On the box, it looks like there is a, it looks like there's a phone number and a manufacturing address. But other than that, I mean, that's all you get. So I don't know if it's an international company. I mean, you got to think about that. I mean, if you're sending your coordinates to some company, out in the middle of nowhere on the other side of the other side of the earth, you don't know. But I'm not really that concerned with it, but it is something to think about. On the other hand, LandAirSea, they display an American address out of Illinois. They seem to be proud that they make everything in the United States. So, but what I will say about LandAirSea is that they seem to only be available from Monday to Friday during, your regular business hours. So if you need help with it, I don't know if you can really get any real help out of them. Tracki, on the other hand, even though, I guess because they're an international company, they are available. It says um, get help, call now 24/7, live agent voice support. So it seems like they give you a little bit more help, even though they don't display any type of address other than what's on the back of the box. So anyway, I'll get more into that later. So the next thing I'm going to kind of talk about is the subscription costs. Um, the subscription costs seem to be based on the update times. So with Tracki, you can go anywhere from 15 to 60 minutes. And again, this is all based on this video at this point. Of course, anything can change. So that's how many times you actually get a GPS coordinate out of these devices sent to your phone or sent to the website. So the shorter the interval between two different periods of time, the more finer detail you can see on a map where these things are. So Tracki, they go from 15 seconds to 60 seconds, I believe. I think I said that right. And then LandAirSea, from what I could see on their website, was 3 seconds to 3 minutes. So personally, I prefer about 1 minute. I don't think I really need more than 1 minute or less than 1 minute. The whole thing, in my opinion, is kind of misleading because if these devices are not in motion, they're not sending any type of update anyway, which in most cases that's fine. But the problem is that a lot of times these will go to sleep if they haven't moved for a while, so you can't refresh anything and see what the current position is. It's just assumed that because they're asleep, they have not moved. Therefore, the last position is all you get. So even though you're paying for updates every 3 seconds or every minute, you're not going to see an update if these are not moving around or jostling around. So you're kind of paying for if these devices are moving around, say in the back of a trailer or on a machine or something like that. Once they go to sleep, they won't report anything. So you can't really ping it if it's asleep. So the next thing I will talk about is the subscriptions and how you can sign up for them. So Tracki, it appears that on their website, they don't show any subscription plans. And I really don't like that. I mean, they kind of just say you can get it as low as $19 a month, but they don't show all the other plans available. LandAirSea, on the other hand, if you go to their website, they proudly show all of their plans. So I kind of prefer LandAirSea over Tracki because of the subscription is easy to see. You can easily sign up for it. You don't have to call anybody to ask for questions. Tracki, I did call them on a Saturday. They actually said that they say they don't want to get into a price war by showing their prices online. So I was a little bit annoyed by that, but the guy said, hey, we can change it right now. We can cancel it right now. We can do whatever you want to do. So they said they were available between 7 a.m. and 11 p.m. So I don't know if this 24/7 doesn't apply to billing, but that's what he said, that you can call him between 7 and 11. And again, all this could change. But he did send me a list of subscription options, and I think it's slightly cheaper than LandAirSea. But at $19, you get 1 minute updates with this. As long as this is moving, you can get 1 minute updates. This, on the other hand, for $19, I think is 3 minute updates. So right now, I've got both of them at $19 update, $19 per month. You get it costs less if you get a year subscription or 2-year subscription. But I'm just testing these. So this one right now only updates every 3 minutes. This one updates every 1 minute, and that's based on $19 a month. So that's basically what that's all about. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the app. Both companies, their apps are kind of finicky in my opinion. They have their issues. So for example, when I tried to sign up for Tracki on the website, let's see now. When it was, yeah, on the website, it wouldn't take my initial password. I tried everything, it wouldn't take the password. So I don't know if something's wrong with their website, but when I tried to submit, it wouldn't take it. Now, the app would take the password, but the website wouldn't. LandAirSea, their Silver Cloud app, that's what they call the Silver Cloud app, if I'm not mistaken, it wouldn't take my credit card number for some reason. I no matter what I did, I would check it over and over and over again. It would not take the credit card. It just says something's wrong. It couldn't process it. I tried to call them on a Friday afternoon around 7 p.m. They did not answer the phone. They're not open apparently on a Friday evening, which, you know, that's their business. But something told me to try it on the website. I was able to get it to take my credit card on the website. So, like I say, both companies, you know, for whatever reason, there's some issues there with the apps. So yeah, I mean, in you know, the apps just don't seem to be as clean as I would like for them to be, but you know, that's what it is. One thing I like about Tracki is that they allow you to use a customized icon for the point on the map. So I just uploaded a picture of a boxer skid steer. LandAirSea, from what I can see, you hit the drop down. All you can do is use a list of predefined icons. So I kind of prefer Tracki over LandAirSea for that. So next thing I'm gonna get into is geofencing. So you can set up in the apps where if these devices go outside of a predetermined area, they will send you a notification saying, hey, you know, these things have moved outside of a certain area. I didn't really play with them very much, but I did kind of do a little bit of playing with them. It looks like you get about 4 corners to make a box with Tracki. LandAirSea, when you click it, it just gives you a circle. And it doesn't appear that you can delete the circle. But that was in their app. Now, in the website, it appears to be a little better. But that's one thing I didn't like about LandAirSea. I gave that to Tracki. I didn't really test to see how well it worked, but that is something to think about if you do need it. LandAirSea, the Silver Cloud app, shows you the signal strength of the satellites, or the amount of satellites it can see. Tracki does not give you that information. It just gives you battery level, and LandAirSea gives you battery as well. So I'd like to see Tracki put a satellite, how many satellites it can see at any given time, so that if I'm placing this on a vehicle or somewhere, I can determine if it's going to actually work. I can't tell unless I get an update. And you know, that's another thing I'll talk about too, is tracking, like exactly where the dots are being placed on the map. Tracki, the app, it sends emails and notifications to my phone. It pushes them off. Like, for example, it'll say, if you press this button here, like I was saying before, it will send a notification saying the button is pressed. It will also tell you if it's been turned on or turned off. You know, like I say, this, you can hide it in a lot of places, but it will give you things to tell you if somebody's tampering with it, basically. So yeah, that's how that works. This one here doesn't have any buttons, and I didn't see anything come up in the app. I'm guessing you have to set it up, but I haven't played with it much. So now I'm going to talk about the tracking performance of these devices. I played around with the placement in my yard in multiple locations on various pieces of equipment, trailers, underneath equipment, on top of equipment. And what I noticed is that the Tracki is very sensitive to movement. So as long as there's vibration or any type of movement, it seems like it sends out those 1 minute interval GPS positions. And it appears that it doesn't have a hard time seeing GPS signals, even if it's underneath a piece of metal equipment, like inside of a toolbox. Still works just fine. As long as it's awake, I can press the refresh button on the app and it gives me the location. I just can't see the signal strength of the cell phone towers, and I can't see the how many GPS. It just simply says it has a GPS connection. But what's really cool about the Tracki device, and I don't know if LandAirSea can do the same thing. I don't know. This device, the way they've got it programmed is that if it can't get a GPS position, it'll try to pull a nearby location of a Wi-Fi router. So every now and then, it would actually pull the location of my neighbor's house, where it would pick up that Wi-Fi connection from their house. Now it wouldn't log into their router, but it will pull that location of any Wi-Fi in the area if it can't get the GPS signal. And it also can pull just a general area of a cell phone tower, which is not really great, but it's better than nothing. So that's really cool. I like that. When you go into the history of this device, you can download like a CSV on a spreadsheet, and you can see when it gives you the coordinates how it got it. Did it use Wi-Fi, which is probably a small area, GPS even smaller, or cellular position. So the GPS positions on it are not as accurate as I want them to be. I noticed the positions would be randomly all over the property, or sometimes in the neighbor's yard. And again, some of that is because it's latching onto a Wi-Fi connection, but it's not like 100% right there. Like, it'll just show dots all over the place. If you compare that to the excavator that I have, the Bobcat, the newer excavators, they come with a GPS built into them, and you can use the Bobcat owner's website to see it. When you log in, you have to pay for it. But even inside my garage, I mean, it shows exactly where that excavator is inside the garage. And I can see a path where it's driven out and into the yard and back into the yard. So it's very accurate. I was very surprised. It doesn't seem to have any problems figuring out exactly where the machine is at any given time. So I like that, but I wish the Tracki was as accurate as the excavator's GPS. So not sure why it's not as accurate, but it does seem like it's giving me something, and that's better than nothing. And the signal strength, I mean, my cellular signal out here is not great, but it seems to still stay connected, so that's good. So on this LandAirSea, I tried to do the same thing, tried to put it on different pieces of equipment. There's no refresh button in the interface that I could find. With it moving around and everything, it seems like you may go for several hours before you get an update. So that's not good. I don't like that. I don't know why. I mean, it's not like it's in some type of sleep mode. Just sometimes randomly doesn't give me a updated location. I don't know if maybe it's not sensitive enough to vibration. I don't know. So yeah, that's pretty much it on it. So the final test that I did was quite funny. Yesterday, actually, I had to volunteer for a community event, and I said, well, this would be great to use this because I've got to take one of my trailers. I got a solar powered sign trailer, and I had to take that out there. I was going to have to leave it overnight at a park where the event was going to be located. And so I went on ahead and placed both trackers side by side inside of the trailer. And again, you got to find a metal surface. Unless you're going to use, double-sided sticky tape, you got to find a metal surface. So I was able to find a metal not aluminum, but a real steel surface, and I was able to put both of those in the trailer. So that worked fine. I went on ahead and drove it out to the park and left it there overnight. And I did pull it up on the website or in the apps. They both appeared in the area in the parking lot where I left them. and they showed up just fine. And you can see a location, like a line from where I drove from where I live to the park, and it shows that just fine. It shows straight lines because it's only going to show for this one every 3 minutes at $19, and every 1 minute at $19 for this one. So it just, as the crow flies, it doesn't really follow the road. It just goes as, you know, one GPS coordinate at a time. Unfortunately, LandAirSea, it for some reason failed at this test. It showed up fine getting to the park, but I drove around, you know, the area and came back home, and I pulled up GPS coordinates on Tracki. It shows me at home just fine. Everything's right. This, on the other hand, shows the last location being at an intersection that I drove through. So that's a failure because if let's just say somebody stole my trailer, then the last location that comes up on my app is in an intersection somewhere, that's useless to me. I can't determine exactly where my trailer is at. So it, for some reason, stopped recording at that intersection. And I mean, it had good charge and everything. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't vibrating enough inside the trailer. I don't know, but it stopped recording. And so there's nothing to say about it. I mean, if I can't depend on it, then it's not going to be of much use to me. It is an American-made device, or or they say it's American-made, but and they have good pricing as far as showing transparency on their pricing, but Tracki did a better job tracking where my equipment was at all times. So this is more sensitive, has the bigger battery. So I'm probably going to most likely keep this. They have a smaller model, but I think this is, even though it's a little heavy, it's still not too bad. The magnet is very strong. So I think I'm just going to keep this. I don't know if I'm going to keep this or not. I mean, if it's not doing what I really need it to do, I might just send it back. But yeah, so that's the thing. I mean, these two devices, like I say, I think it's worth it to at least have one of these, and in case you're in a, you got to kind of count the risk versus the cost. I figure if you get this like on a 2-year plan, it could be like as low as I think $9 a month for like 1 minute interval. It's like 240 bucks, something like that for 2 years. And then it's peace of mind. You just stick it on the item you're going to track, and if something happens, this is good for guys who have dump trailers and trailers full of equipment. I mean, I'd say look at this as a cost of doing business. I mean, if your trailer gets lost or stolen, it's easy to tell the police, hey, here's where it's at, or you can go look for it yourself and have the police, meet you out there. Assuming nobody found it and turned it off or threw it away. So I definitely think it's a good idea. I mean, you figure you spend $10,000 on a trailer, you should at least buy a $20 tracker for it, and $200 for 2 years. That's not really that bad. So, and like I say, these last. I think I was almost forgot about that. I think these last on one charge. Like, I think this one lasts for 2 months on one charge. I'm not sure on that. Let me look at that real quick. I think Tracki, they're saying that it lasts. It says up to 12 months per charge. I'm not really sure if that's true or not. It says between 2 and 12 months. So that's a pretty long time. You charge it up and just sit it down and forget it. It'll send you the app will send you a notification if the battery is low on it. So if you forget to charge the battery, it'll let you know. I'm pretty sure this will do the same thing. And I don't know. I mean, somebody else might have a better experience with it, but it's just not tracking like I need it to. But I'll keep testing them. And I think this one here lasts for, oh no, it says 1 to 3 weeks based on the update. So 3 seconds, I think it's like 1 week. If you do 3 minute updates, it's 3 weeks. That's what it's saying. They have low power modes. The low power modes basically ignore the movement of the device, and basically they just turn on and turn off 2 or 3 times a day and give their updates. That's it. So they'll last for 6 months to a year like that with on one charge. But you won't see if somebody steals it within within those periods of time, steals your equipment. You're not going to be able to get a ping until it decides to wake up again by itself. So I'd rather just charge the device, and of course, like I say, you can always use the charging, the hardware kit. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Unless I come up with something else to think about, I mean, that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward items. Talk to you later.